So one thing about a liar is that they always have to keep up with those lies. Some of y'all have missed out on some terrific things, some people, places, and things that could have changed your life because you listened to what somebody else said about somebody instead of getting up and do your own homework, right? I remember when I was younger, my grandmother called some years back. My grandmother called me. She said, Moffitt, Creta May. You know, my granny had like 6, 7 different nicknames for me. Chocolate, Creta May, Moffitt, Moo Moo, Shaquille. You know, I don't know where she got these names from, y'all. She did them, right? I remember she used to say, girl, get up off your butt and stand up on those turkey wings, turkey legs, chicken feet and ham hocks, right? Y'all, she had some words for you. You hear me? Like, what? Girl, oh, yeah, stand up. Which was meaning stop acting lazy. And so, anyways, she told me one time, she said, I need you to go to the store for me. And my grandmother was blind, so I said, Granny, y'all, I don't know why I told her to text me. Because she wasn't always blind, y'all. And so she got the name and stuff. I said, Granny, well, just text me. And she said, well, I'm going to text you blind with a house phone, right? Y'all, we was cracking up laughing. So I said, okay, girl, I'll call you when I get to the store. I'm going to get myself ready and everything. And so y'all get up, get myself together, go to the store. And I learned a vital lesson that day. And this is something that I stand on. And this is what I'm saying. Get up and do your own stuff, your own research, your own homework. Stop sitting there being lazy, missing out on something good and great because of what somebody said about somebody. If you're easily swayed like that, you have to go into some deep diving and start doing some homework and figure out why is it that somebody's able to sway you like that? Because can't a damn person at my big grown age come up to me and tell me nothing about nobody else and about what they heard, seen, and tell lies on them. You got some people even as gone as far as lying and saying they slept with somebody to stop them from getting somewhere. You understand? And so, and then you put them people in front of each other. That person gonna sit there and bow their head in shame, knowing that they done lied on themselves and they got a great deal to pay, right? But anyways, y'all get myself together. I'm saying this and I'm going on getting up off of here. My grandmother said, Moffitt, when you get to the store, call me. I get to the store, I call her. I go in the store, y'all. And when I get to the store, she wanted like 3 different things. And they was all around like stretched out from each other, right? Miles apart in the store. So I'm like, girl, you want something over here? You want some over there? You want some over there? And so I call myself trying to take the easy route. So I stop somebody and I say, hey, do you know where this at? Because we going to get to it, right? And so the lady, I said, do you know where this and you got this? Y'all got this, and this. And if so, what aisle was they down? The lady looked me, turned around and looked me dead in my face and said, no, we ain't got none of that. And I said, excuse me? She said, no, we ain't got none of that. This woman looked me dead in my face and told me, no, we ain't got none of that. Sure, as well. And so I said, my granny said, don't listen to her. You know that stuff is in that store. And I said, Granny, well, she said it ain't in here. Part of me wanted to be lazy, right? And part of me knew it was in that store. I never not thought one time that it wasn't in there. I wanted to be lazy. I was like, Granny, well, you heard what she said. The lady on the phone said, y'all was trying to hit the U-turn and go back out the store. But I wanted to go lay down, right? Watch my movies. She said, Moffitt, if you come up out of that store without my stuff, you're going to see me walk for the first time in a long time. I'm going to beat you up, right? My granny was tough. And I said, Granny, well, she said it ain't in here, right? Y'all, but I still kept on walking. And she said, I'm telling you that it's in there. I'm telling you it's in there. How you going to let her tell you what you know, right? And so I'm, kind of chuckling, laughing. So, y'all, I going on down the alleyway. And lo and behold, it was there, right? I asked the lady for all 3 things. She said all 3 things was not there, right? And so I said, yeah, Granny, it's right here. I know it is. I know it is, right? You know older people, they don't play. She said, and the other 2 things is there too. Y'all, so as I'm talking to her and I'm shopping around, right? I'm getting stuff for her, but I'm saying, forget it. I'm in the store, I might as well grab me a couple things for myself. So, y'all, I'm in there and I get to the other things, right? All of them was in there. And my granny said, let me tell you something, right? Once I got to the house and everything, I said, Granny, okay, well, I'm on my way. So I go in the house, take my granny her stuff she asked for, y'all. And I sit with her for a minute because she was bedridden. She was older. She had diabetes and high blood pressure and it had took a toll on her. She ended up going blind. She ended up having a mini stroke and all these things, right? And y'all think I just take care of myself. I had a high blood pressure incident, y'all, and I right? And my doctor told me everything on you straight. That's how you know when energy is being projected towards you as well, right? A lot of people don't want you on these things talking because they have nothing to talk about. And everybody trying to outdo somebody and out-talk somebody and scream and hoot and holler. And do y'all know how many times I done recorded a video and put it on here and somebody done went and reported my stuff and then try to take my stuff and rewrite it and remake it and then yell about it and make it sound like it was fantastical and whimsy? Y'all, it's just, I used to get mad. And as I get older and time go on, I become tickled at watching this. Especially when you're watching a man, a boy, right, do this, right? I seen multiple women doing it, but it was a boy who did it, right? And it was something that I said in my last video. And I know that these people been going to, I'm going to report your stuff so you can't get it out there. Then I'm going to yell to the top of my lungs. Then I'm going to lie and say that I know you to the people that I'm working with, right? And so, anyways, that's neither here nor there because we ain't going to get on that because we're going to let God take care of that, right? We're going to let the Lord take care of that. We're going to let Jesus Christ from Nazareth take care of that, right? God said, if you ask in my son's name, that it shall be answered. If you ask in Jesus Christ from Nazareth's name, y'all, I be saying the whole thing. Jesus Christ from Nazareth, because I don't want to get no mix up. Jesus, Yahweh, Yahshua, Yahoo, and all of it, right? It's so many contradictions about this. It's not that. It's not. I don't care. I don't care. He know who I'm talking about. Your son, Lord, the one who died for my sins. That's what I'm talking about, right? The hootie who raised the roof, right? Then he came back and stunted on him. He started walking on water, right? Hey, that's the biggest stunt ever. You hear me? Ain't nobody gonna tell me. And I know it was painful when he went through it, Lord. No, we ain't talking about that. Ooh, Jesus, I cried like a baby, y'all, when I seen what he had to go through for me, right? It just made me feel shameful. And so, y'all, was crazy. I gotta tell a story, right? Y'all, it's crazy. I went in the store the other day, y'all. I had a coffee in my hand, and I had 2 other drinks in my hand. I couldn't carry all of it. So I put the 2 cups in my bag, and I walked them up. There was another guy standing in the store, but they weren't really paying me no attention. They were standing there talking. And the other guy always come in and out of there, always mess with him, talk to him, talk stuff to him, or whatever. And he be bringing me like little coupons there. He be saying me doing my little couponing. And so I had put the 2 cups in my bag, and I had the other cups. I had so much stuff in my hand. So when I got up there, I put the cup up there, and I paid for my other thing. And I reached down to grab my cups out of my bag, and I could just see the dude like chest relax. I'm like thinking to myself, like, we thought about to steal him or something. I know the dude so well here. He know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is you doing, dude? I don't steal. What y'all got going on, right? But I thought about it like, dang. You just stuck that over in there, like you. I guess it's all about intention, right? But anyways, y'all, I went on ahead and paid for myself to walk out the store. But it's crazy because I seen the one, not the guy who always went there with or whatever. I know his wife too. His wife worked at the Dollar Tree, and she always come up there. He be getting the coupons from her, bringing them up there for me and stuff like that. And then every now and again, before she go to work and stuff, she'll come up there and sit with her husband, and I go up there and mess with him and stuff like that. They basically work down the street from each other, and they sit with each other on like they breaks, and you know sometimes they one go in earlier than the other one, and one be just now getting off or going in or whatever. And so, I'm so comfortable with them. They already know me and how I get down. I tell them what's going on, what I got and all this stuff, and they just ring it up for me. But it's crazy because it was like an outsider standing there. He was just looking at me like, is she about to take that? And so when I grabbed him out my bag, I said, yeah, I got these too. He was just like, whew. Oh, God, dude, that shit was the funniest shit ever. I got in the car, I was telling somebody, I said, yeah, I think he thought I was about to steal them. And he was like, nah, you just be doing stuff like you own the place. I said, bitch, I do, right? We was laughing. So, anyways, y'all, that shit was just hilarious to me. Like, first impression, what your mind tell you, judgment before you know a person, right? Anyways, guys, like I said, it's just crazy to me how we do things, and then a person will go turn around and go behind you, and then try to be better at that thing than you, but they not understanding that. You have to be, it's easy to go tell a story. It's easy to go and pick up a book and ad-lib, right? It's easy to go do this and tell your perception, your perspective, right? It's easy to put your 2 cents in because the world is known for gossiping. The world is known for, they say that you judge before, your mind judge before you can even think to say it out of your mouth. A lot of times, as soon as you look at somebody, it takes like a point something second of something, right? Very, very minimal time. Less than a second to judge somebody. Less than a second. As soon as you look up, you already judging, right? And it's easy to do all that, right? But see, the uniqueness come in when you are stripped and laid bare and you become yourself. That's what makes you you. This is what people don't understand. Everybody wanting to be a competition. Everybody think it's a wave, right? Everybody want to be the next best thing. But you can't be the next best thing unless you are stripped and laid down and be who you are. Not do what that person talking about. Not hear that person touch on the topic and then think you're going to yell to the top of your lungs about a topic that person touched on to make yourself sound better and greater. And the wow, and the wow, and the wee, and the wee, and the, and they went over the mountain and shot over the moon and came back down and dipped in there, flipped up like Flipper Flapper. Like, what? And then he did this and whooshed in. Nah, let me tell you the stunt, bruh. The stunt is Jesus walking on water. Like, they took that man's life because he was everything that they was never. And 999, the number God told me, is that they didn't believe who God said he was. He was the son of God, right? And they said, well, you ain't this, and we got on robes, and we got on big stuff, right? We got on these big G hats, right? On the G's. And he was like, bro, I don't care what you got on. I don't care about you being a part of the turtleneck club. I got bacon in it. Yours got bacon in it. Yours got bacon, right? Don't nobody care about yours got bacon in it. Don't nobody care about none of that, right? Look, the problem is that you got these people sitting high and looking low in these turtleneck clubs, right? They mad because yours got bacon in it. And they out here, the same person preaching about Jesus is the same person in the background attacking you so you can't get your word out there. Trying to make you sick, trying to run your blood pressure up, not understanding. But like I always tell y'all, if God let it through your back door, it's supposed to be there, death and everything, right? Like so many people scared of death, so many people scared of this and that, right? The problem is, y'all, you got to start looking within. Can't nobody touch you unless you got a space, unless you got a spot on you that needs to be cleansed, right? And so if somebody throw a high blood pressure spell at me, mess that hoe up spell, right? Because it's happening, right? People don't want to touch on this, but let's talk about it. The internet is popping with this stuff, where people think that they can freeze you out and do all this stuff, right? Maybe there's something, even if you don't got high blood pressure, you still can be eating wrong, right? And so if somebody throws something at you and you already eating wrong, right? It's able to be spiked up because you eat potato chips at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And so now we got to look at God. Okay, so what is it that I'm doing? Yeah, they threw that at you. Yeah, they try to get you, but you are eating potato chips at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And that's a no-no because you already know the toxins at that hole. So we need to switch up our diet, right? And so these are things that God have you to do before he take you into spaces and places, because it's always a deeper snake in there. And God needs you to know how to cleanse up certain things, even around you, even in your everyday life, right? Even if you never make it all the way up here, it's still things that God trying to do with you. And whether it's knowledge, whether it's wisdom, whatever it is that you can help somebody to help somebody, right? That God will see that you strong enough to go through that, to be able to deliver the message, right? Ain't nothing like going through it to get through it, right? And then becoming that thing, right? Ain't nothing like it. Everybody want to be somebody, but then when they throw all this stuff at you, right? Then when you go through all these things, you wake up to your son laying next to your dad, your grandparents pass away, they put hits out on you, they doing all this crazy stuff, right? All this crazy stuff in your house took in, your car took in, you got your kids all in on it and all this stuff, right? Everybody trying to get something everybody in it for their own reasons, right? You got people coming into your life, hopping on the bandwagons, right? Doing all this crazy stuff. But you don't understand, a lot of these people feeling some type of way, and then, what is it called? Like survivor's guilt. It's like, that stuff is real. Do you know how much stuff I went through? And then the same people that took me through it wanted me to walk around them with a survivor's guilt on me, right? I didn't know what it was. And then one day, I tapped on one of these here platforms. I heard somebody talking about it. I'm like, that's what it is that I'm feeling. Why is it that I feel like I'm feeling like they don't want, now you've been through all this. Now they don't want you to share your testimony like you ain't the motherfucking GOAT. I'm the motherfucking GOAT. You are the GOAT. Do you hear me? You survived all type of battle wounds. They try to kill you. They set houses on fire with you in them. All kind of crazy stuff. Unscrewing gas so you can light a cigarette and blow up in the house. Light your blunt and blow up in the house. These fools been doing all kind of stuff. Then when I'm a survivor. When you survive and you survive and they sit up there, these fools be having the nerve to be walking around sad that you survived, and then they want you to walk around timid like you don't know what they did. Fool, I know you did it. I know what you did. I ain't walking around with no survivor's guilt. Get out my way. Then they hacking all up into your stuff so you can't get nowhere. Then you got these fools who just now coming up into you and you speaking, trying to out-hoot you and holler you. You can't out-hoot me and God. You gonna get set down. Me and God got stuff to do. Get out of our way. Then you going out there lying. I know her from back in 1996. And then, matter of fact, I went to her house and I seen her lay with a dog, a cat, and a pig. What? This is why God is saying, for the people out there that got the opportunities, get up off your butt and stop sending people towards them. Get up off your butt and stop sending out emails. Do you not understand that when these people get on here speaking of certain things, that they are fighting a different type of battle, that they are fighting a different type of fight, that they are fighting a principality that you ain't never seen in your life? Do you not understand that you and your position and authority that you hold, right, can break something off that person's whole generation by them doing something and you come into their life and you think it ain't gonna be no fight? Well, they just turned it down, so you just gave up. No, get up and figure out what's going on. When you know you offering somebody something, get up and see what's going on. Like my grandmother said, and she told me to go to them 3 different places in that store, and that person came straight in front of me, standing right there, like the devil said. Put this like the devil just placed that thing, that woman right there with her lion snake ass tongue. Excuse my language, Lord. Today is the day. Today is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I have to say it. It's like the devil put that snake right there to lie in my face with her snake slithering tongue. I don't care who it is around you, your sister, your brother, your friend, the person you put on from within. I don't care if they talking about Jesus, God, or nothing. These people are insecure. They're liars, they're thieves. They have got addicted to the places and the spaces, and they don't want nobody coming to take their spot. Instead of thinking about what they gonna do when they next plan, they blocking that person and taking and pinching off the top of them, and you never turn back around and look. Like, really? You don't deserve that person either. And so, like I said, y'all, when God got something from you, can't nobody take nothing from you. You understand? Something about the name Jesus, and it's something about when you come into where you supposed to be at, and you going where you can't nobody stop it. If God allowed them foundations to crumble, let them crumble. Y'all, everything around me then fell apart. And I was just sitting there in it, sipping my coffee. $8? You said $8. Okay. That's all I got is my coffee and my dogs. We riding. Period. I don't care. Everything can crumble. Everything can crumble around me, and I'll be sitting there just as cool. When you begin to lose worldly things, I have to ask myself, what are we doing here, God? What is this? God said, when you be coming to me, this is how I know when somebody really standing for God. This is how I know. God said, when I read that scripture and it said that when you come into me, everybody would dislike you. Oh, I got to see that. When I was out here living like everybody else, people was always jealous. Always, always. Every woman, every girl, every whatever, cat, whatever I ever came around was always jealous of me because they always knew I was different. I always carried myself a certain type of way. And one thing about it is, God showed me the first couple things to go is when you are coming into me is that your name is going to be lied upon. Anytime you're one of mine, anytime a person is God's, people lie on their name and they try to assassinate their character and lie. And I'll never forget, a person came around me and it was this guy who walked up to me. I went out. This was many years ago. I went out and when I was out, this guy walked up to me and he was like, man, he said, you just be minding. I didn't know who this person was, nothing. He said, man, you just be minding your business. You be in your own little world, man. He said, man, I just love the way you take care of your household, man. He said, I see you got you got a child. He said, I see how, like, you can tell, like, you don't do certain things in front of her and all this stuff. Like, I just really like how you hold yourself together. And it was 3 people around me, and all 3 people were snakes, and all 3 people after that man said that went to work on my name. I didn't know it right then and there. It took years later down the line. And then when I finally left that person proceeded to go out here and lie on me and all this stuff. And I never once said nothing bad about this person, knowing that this person's behavior was extremely bad. And come to find out, this person, mental health was through the roof and they had switched their last name. And I do believe that one of my family members, multiple of my family members sent this person towards me. Oh, I got a story for y'all. I ain't through with you yet, bitch. You heard what that man said. What was that? Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Hood. When that little boy went in there, and he took that, he had a picture of that man, he was beating on him and his mama, abusing him and his mother, and he was abusing him and his mother, and the teacher asked, where does this bruise come from? And the teacher went to the house, and the man got up and tried to roll his sleeves up, that boy, y'all know what part I'm talking about, and the teacher came in there and tried to, the teacher came in there and was like, well, don't be doing this and don't be doing that and da. I was just coming to see about these bruises. And he went to raise up his sleeves after the teacher left. And he ended up hearing her. And he turned back around. The teacher turned back around and went in the house. But that little boy took that paper and twisted it, right? And that man twisted it all up. He said, I ain't through with you yet. Woo! Some of y'all people have ran into the devil's advocate. I've been out here and y'all have ran into the devil's advocates. Y'all have ran into the devil's advocate. Some of y'all have ran into Satan. Some of y'all have ran into one of Satan's high tapped in soldiers. One of his principalities. Right? Some of y'all ran into that man. Remember they said it was one that was slicker than actually Satan? That all he had to do was whisper the lies of truth in their ears. And it would drive you mad, right? Yo, don't whisper truth like that to me. Satan said, "No, dog, we cool, bruh." He thought Satan thought he was better than him, right? Satan he said, "Oh, really?" Right? See, they fights ain't like our fights, right? See, we go out in the streets and we used to get down. Now they want to pull out that thing, right? They cowards, right? Get in the street and live to see another day. Don't get in the street and get beat up and talk, I can't take it. And now you want to go out there and take somebody out. Now you sitting behind the bars. Now all this, right? Like, come on. Man, we used to get beat up and just go home and take it, right? And then if we wasn't satisfied, we go out there and fight again, right? Hey, if somebody hook us up for the next day, we got to go out there and catch another fade, period, right? Now I ain't satisfied with that fight. You get beat up again, you might not be satisfied again until you like, forget it, man. He really won. She really won, right? We live to see another day. And what's even crazier is the person that you fought, man, you might even be their friend later on. Like, I become the best of friends. Forget it. If I can't beat you, join them. Literally. Right? I need this one as a protector. They done beat me up. Like, first, first fight, lost. Y'all ain't really lost no fights now. I ain't gonna put that on me. Right? But, anyways, I was watching this movie. Y'all, that's my favorite movie. I gotta go finish it. But it's called, I want to say Dream. It's not Dream. It's called a Sandman. And they fought with their words, right? And it's crazy because that's exactly how it is, though. In a lot of these movies, they show you exactly what it is. But they fought with their words. But their words had manifested into reality. And so they was actually, from the words that they were saying. And if that person, it was Dream. The person, it was basically Sandman, which it was the king of the dream world. And then it was the devil, when they was all siblings. It's called Sandman, y'all. That's my stuff. I got to finish watching that. I did the whole first one. I'm on the second one. And so I ain't gonna tell y'all the rest, y'all. I got to go watch it. And when he went to go visit his sister, and basically Satan ended up being a woman. I'm going to spoil that part for you. And when he went down there to get whatever it was that he had lost, once he came out of this place in this space from being captured, he had to go to these different places and gather up things that he lost while he was in this place in this space. And so he went and gathered his things, and one of the things that he was missing was in Satan's realm. Anyways, y'all, he go down there and they end up battling with their words, right? They words that they use manifested, and every time they took a blow, they actually, in their reality, in the words that they spoke, they actually took the blow to their actual body, right? And he almost lost, but I ain't gonna give it all away, y'all. But anyways, a lot of these people out here saying things out their mouth, hoping that these things are manifesting your reality, and some people even going as far as actually going and planning stuff to make it manifest in your reality. But anyways, y'all, we already touched on that. So basically what I was saying is that, right, Satan don't want no problems. He said that that man started that other thing, the other high rank entity went over to him. I don't know if Satan went to go pick a fight with him or whatever, but he came up to Satan and started whispering truths in his ear, right? That's gotta be some bad stuff right there. Like, to make you go mad. Like, what? What you say to me? What you say? What you say? Shut up, Ollie. My bird is laughing, y'all. That is crazy. Don't you say another motherfucking word. Shut up. Shut up. Don't you say nothing else to me. There's somebody creeping past my house. And they blew their horn. But anyways, y'all, I forgot what part I was at, y'all, because this stuff be serious. I want to go back to what I was saying, y'all. The real flex be when Jesus be walking on water, though. Like, Jesus be out here. Y'all know when they took his life and he came back and he began to walk on water, how he was flexing out there. Like, I bet that was the biggest flex ever. Then he wasn't even walking in, like, ego. He was just out there like, do you not believe, friend? Cast your net on the left side of the boat. Right? There's fish on that side. Come and join me. He like, join you? Do you not believe? Do you not believe? You watching me walk on water and you still don't. He said he went to go walk on the water. He said, yes, come out here. Come on, right? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, I'm about to go, right? I done went a little bit of here, there, here, a little bit of everywhere. Y'all, I just seen somebody pull in my driveway. Then they turned around and pulled back out of the driveway. Everybody wants attention from me for some reason today. I mean, they better not come up in here because we got that still. You hear me? Long as you stay outside. But I seen somebody roll past. They beeped their horn. Then I see somebody pull in my driveway in the truck. Pull back out. And then, like, I can't see wherever where they pulled, but I can see some lights across the street. So they must have put across the street on the other side. It be a lot of movement around this time. I be seeing some crazy stuff. Y'all done seen people coming from between the sides of my house and all kind of stuff. Like, boy, you better, hey, wow, it's time for me to get up off of here, y'all. I got to watch my own videos and have my own peace. I got to come up out these clothes, right? Y'all got my little thing on. Y'all been having this little jacket forever, and I never wore it. It's so cute. And then I have my little booties on. Y'all, let me show y'all my booties. I had my little booties on, y'all. I was just too cute today. Yes, I was so cute, y'all. And they try to make me feel uncomfortable when I walked in the house. As soon as I came in, I could feel everybody's energy. I had to just dust it off. Dust yourself off and try again. I got people making slick remarks. I got people getting smart at the mouth, want me to feed off into it. Some people want you to bash them in the face, right? And then we got people stealing my phone, right? I'm like, where's my phone at? I was just calling for somebody to come pick me up. And I'm like, where's my phone? This person, like, went to go in the bathroom with my phone. Like, thought they were about to be sitting in the bathroom with my shit. And I was like, where's my phone? They said, oh, I got your phone again. I thought it was mine. I'm like, dude, this shit is crazy. Dude, this stuff is crazy. These people crazy. Like, they just keep doing the same thing. And something in my spirit, God told me, this is not your people. You get to see time and time again, this is not your people. Yo, I be in such disbelief. God, like, this ain't even your blood, right? None of these people, they all got the same thing, and they mad because I had that person leave you everything. Some of these people are mad because people in your family has passed away and left you everything. People around you are hiding mails and letters. Like, I know people in my life, y'all, I ain't got mail, and I don't know. I can't tell y'all the last time I got mail. I get mail from one place. I've been on my own since I've been 17. Y'all used to have bukus and bukus and bukus. You know how you get mail and junk mail and all this different mail, right? I have mail for everywhere. I've been on my own since I've been 17. Like, with my own place, legally, with my own place. And for me to have all this mail to go to having none at all, it's a serious problem. These people are out here stealing my mail, holding my mail, and doing all this stuff. And there's other people involved in this thing as well. And they're mad because people in my family, these people walked around with entitled mind states, entitled. And I do believe that my grandmother, my uncle, and other people in my family have left me things that I never received. Right? These people behind the scene maneuvering. And some of these people that even went as far as trying to hire hitman. Y'all, you should see how much stuff I be seeing around my house. People going down my alley. Right? The roommate that I got right now, they've been hiding and stealing mail as well. Right? People jealous of you, don't want better for you, really don't want you around, but they be damned if they see you have something good. And so y'all make sure that when y'all reaching out to somebody, that is that person. Make sure it's that person that y'all reaching out to. These people are thieves, they're con artists and everything else. And right now we are in a battle. God is uplifting his people and trying to get his people to the safe places. And these people are refusing to let go. But God is about to shake some of these people upside down by their toenails. You understand? String them up, string them up. Don't miss out on something great because of what somebody else said as well. Stop listening to other people running their mouth. Stop listening to people run their mouth and tell lies on people. I'ma say this. One thing my granny always said. She didn't never listen to gossip. If somebody said something that was pertaining to her that put her up in something, she going to go get both parties and she gonna put them in front of each other. And 9 times out of 10, the person who was actually running their mouth don't even know that person. Never even seen that person. Never even came in contact with that person at all. And if they did message or talk to that person some type of way, trust me, it's something that they done conjured up themselves and put together like they was having a conversation with that person. They never even spoke to that person. Or what they do is they twist and mix up the story and what is being told and what is being said. You understand? So, my granny said she used to go, she had a dispute. My grandmother was always in church. She had a dispute. And she said that somebody had put her name in something. And the person who was doing all this running the mouth and running the mouth, she said that what she did was when it picked the other person up, but didn't let the other person know that she was going to go pick that person up. Because it was enough, it was getting to that point, right? And so when she picked the other person up, the person was their normal self, their regular self, and all this stuff, right? And when she put that person in front of the other person, she never ended up telling the person at that time what the other person said. She would just put that other person in front of that other person and watch how the person who actually told her responded. Right? See if they try to either snooze up on it, because they're going to either do one or two things, right? They're going to have to stand 10 toes down on what it is that they said about that person, so that comes into the action, right? Like I said, when you go to family functions and you see that one person saying slick stuff to you all of a sudden, but that person was just on the phone with you yesterday acting normal, on the phone with that person yesterday acting normal, the day before that called them every single day talking to them, right? And then they get in front of people and they act a certain type of way. They have to act out what it is that person was saying, what they've been saying behind that person back to everybody else, right? So I'm telling y'all, do not be alarmed. Just soak it in what these people have been doing, right? Today I went somewhere and this person kept saying all the slick stuff, but this person been calling me every day, right? This and that, and what you over there doing? Calling me every single day, right? On the phone talking, kissing butt. This person, and when I went to this place today, this person was a whole different person. Now I be saying slick stuff out their mouth. I could have got to bash this person in the mouth, but sometimes that's what these people wanted, right? Sometimes these people want you to get up and mess up your reputation, and a lot of this stuff is staged and planned because a lot of us is old things, right? And so I can just get you to put your hands and feet on me, right? This person said something about, because it's just gonna be a fight. I turned around and looked at him, I said, by the power of Christ compels me, it would never be a fight. What makes you think you're gonna get a swing in? That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. Period. It's KO around here. They don't call me KO for nothing. Is you crazy? I'm Fortnite and would knock you straight out. Don't get it twisted. You have to pay attention to what you're being provoked on as well. And that's what lets you know who else been running their mouth. You have to look at all scenarios when it comes to things, because if you never told a person certain things about yourself, why would they try to provoke you in those areas unless, right? Somebody was running their mouth and saying, well, we can provoke them this way. And everybody thinking that you're going to get up and respond as a need to prove yourself and you ain't no punk. But see, everybody at that table, they've been touched by an angel. So they know that it ain't no hoe in my blood. No, ain't no sir. Ain't no hoe in my blood. No, ain't no sir. Right? But everybody playing on the fact that you done changed your life around. Everybody jealous that you actually changed. Everybody jealous that you actually ain't no mark. Everybody jealous that they can't provoke you and those sentimental values. A lot of these people ain't even worth nothing no more. Right? And so if you want to go into a place in a space, understand that these people ain't even worth nothing. Put yourself in a place or in a mind state that these people are not worth it, right? Even with, like, I went to the gas station a couple days ago. The guy came in the gas station, right? I had one or two things I can do, but I wasn't in the mood for that. I was in the mood for what I was in the mood for, right? Because you talk of changing, you talk all these things. You got people around you constantly trying to provoke you. Then you got these people who done did stealing from you and all this stuff. And so they trying to send these NPCs in, these monitoring spirits, and these people getting paid to come and provoke you, right? And so I went into the gas station a couple days ago, and this guy come in, he cussed in front of everybody, caused a scene, right? And so I'm up there, and I had a coupon, right? My coupons. And as I pull my coupon up, my coupon went away, but it had took my points away. And so the guy at the register was trying to help me pull it up. It was a woman behind me, but she ended up stepping out of the line because her son came in and he wanted something. So she just stepped over to the side, but really she was really behind me, right? And she was cool. She was like, you good, you go ahead. Because I'm like, I'm so sorry. I turned around and said, I'm so sorry. And she like, you good. And her son came in, she said, well, that did it right there, right? She said, it was meant, right? Go ahead, you good. I ain't in no rush. So I said, okay. So he's trying to pull it. She see what we doing. This guy comes in, cut straight in front of her, run to grab a pop and cut straight in front of her. And I could, his presence was so foul, I could feel him behind me. And so I kind of turn around and I look, and I go ahead and he's still trying to pull up my coupon. I don't even got my phone. The cashier the person at the register had my phone. The same person that I told y'all I know. He got my phone. So he said, yeah, my wife digging out the coupon. He talking to me as he going through my phone trying to get my stuff to pull back up because he seen that it took my points off. And he like, well, if it took the points off, then it's got to be another way we can put it back on here or something like that, right? It's got to be some type of code. And so as he's trying to fix my stuff and trying to figure out how to put my points back on here because I didn't, when able to, it took the points off. It didn't even give me the dang on discount. So I'm like, And it was like a $5 discount. I need my discount. Y'all ain't taking my points off and taking my $5 coupon? No. And so, anyways, he was trying to pull it back up because he was madder than me. So, anyways, we standing there, we kind of laughing about it. I said, oh, no, you got to pull this back up. And the lady kind of was, talking to us a little bit as we talking. Her son still grabbing what he grabbing, right? This man cut in. Y'all, he wasn't even standing there for 30 seconds. This man starts screaming. Oh, is it going to be this MF and long and MF for this and MF for that and mother effer and da-da-da-da-da, right? I turned around and looked at him. The man in front of me was so scared. As soon as I seen his face, he was like ready to go run behind the freaking counter. Like, is we in a stick up, right? Because somebody getting in the gas station, they start yelling like that. You don't know if you in a stick up or not, right? It had startled him because of the way he started screaming and hollering. It's almost like he was screaming so loud that it almost sounded like it was a stick up, right? Put your hands up, right? MFer. That's all we heard. And God dang it, but he was saying the D word. God damn it, I might as well say it. God damn it, this and da-da-da-da, right? I turned around, I said, shut your ass up. Shut up. I said, how you gonna come up in here screaming and hooting and hollering, being disrespectful, talking about this? I said, all you have to do is ask to go in front of me. I said, it's a cash register over there that's open as well. That line is moving fast. I said, you come up in here hooting and hollering, screaming, yelling, and this and that. I said, shut your ass up and get another line. He gonna say, okay, that's all you got to say. I said, I didn't have to say nothing. You didn't have to say nothing. All you have to do is go stand your ass in the other line. You came in here, you being a bully, you being disrespectful, you being loud, you being trifling. And I said, ain't nobody moving out the way. And that's not how you approach nobody. That ain't how you address nobody. And you don't come up in here talking about that, right? And disrespecting nobody like that. I said, you go stand your ass in the other line, period. So he goes and stand in the other line. I said, you come up here hollering and screaming. So he's on some, oh my God, I thought something was wrong. Like, I thought something was actually wrong. I said, I thought it was a stick up behind me. I'm about to turn around and punch him, right? So he kind of like leaned his head down and chuckled. He said, I'm so happy you said something to him. It was another, not him, but it was another guy that was in the back. He said, I'm so happy you said something to him. Oh, my water bottle fell. So what is that? The other guy, while I was walking out the store, he said, I'm so happy you said something to him. He's a fucking coward like that. And I said, yeah, he is, coming here screaming and hollering. I said, if he told me I got to pop and I got somewhere to be and all this stuff. Y'all, he cussing. He was yelling so loud. Dude, I turned around, my blood pressure spiked up. I said, shut your ass up right now. The heck is wrong with you? Go stand in the other line. And so I still end up getting out of there before him and everybody in the line. Idiots. And so, anyways, the guy, I went back in there the next day. It was the manager lady there. It was him. The other guy he called also was the manager lady there. And I took my dog in there. So the manager was, messing with my dog and playing with my dog and stuff. And so I go to the front. And me and her was talking, and she said, yeah, I heard about what happened yesterday. I said, yeah, he came here a lot, screaming and hollering. She said, yeah, we looked over the cameras, and we seen him standing. She said, he wasn't even standing there long. I said, that's all I'm saying. I said, but I don't care how long he was standing. I don't care if he was standing there for 20 minutes. I said, what caused you to start screaming and hollering like that? I said, then another line was open. She said, that's what the other guy was saying, like, he had enough time to come. He said before the other line filled up. Because people had started coming in after him, that he had enough time. He said he was like, it just seemed like he deliberately stood behind her. Like, they had told him, like, it didn't look right, basically. When they went back and looked over the cameras, they seen that he had enough time to have went over to the line and been either like the first or second one seen. So what would make you plant your feet behind me, right? And think you gonna come up in here bullying. But I couldn't go into detail with them what I felt like it was. I just kind of like left it surface level. And so me and her was kind of standing up there talking. I said, yeah, she said, yeah, she said, you'll be surprised what we see down here and this, that, and the other. Like, she said, we didn't have to escort people out of here and all kind of stuff. I said, no. I said, that was deliberately done. She said, we was talking about like someone right about it. Like, why would he pick to stand behind you and do that? She said, then, if you look at the cameras, he kept watching you, like looking at you. When he came in the store, he looked at you. Like, as soon as he walked in the store, when they looked back in the cameras, they said he had looked at you. And so, she said, do you know him? Do you whatever? I said, I don't know him. I ain't never seen him a day in my life. And so we kind of sit there and laughed and talked and stuff like that. She was messing with my dog and stuff. I paid for my stuff, went out the store. And she said, well, you have any problems and stuff like that? She said, you know, we ain't got no issue with you. We know you didn't do anything, whatever. She said, you know, the other guy, she was like, you know, he took straight up for you and this thing. I guess the other guy, the other worker went and told or whatever, like, oh, he didn't feel comfortable. But she said he didn't say you and this, that, and the other. So I said, I don't care who he said. I said, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. She said, nah. She said, people is got bully behavior. She says around the holiday, everybody broken, everybody a little frustrated, right? And I said, yeah, but I left it at surface level. I knew something else was going on, though. I just left it at surface level. And so, what I'm saying, y'all, is that you got to be careful out here because a lot of y'all are old things. And these people are sending people in to flare up certain things to cause problems, knowing that you taking up for yourself is warranted for, basically. And they think that you're going to stand there and cry little Sally and little Wolf. Oh, what's happening? No. He better be lucky that I was able to actually hear what he was saying. Because if he would have said MF it one more time, I would have took him down because I would have thought he was robbing the place. You understand me? So this is why you got to be careful running up on people out here playing like that. It was paid action is basically what I'm saying. Somebody sent that man in there. He came in there with a agenda, and he tried to seek out the agenda that he came in there for, to lie and to assassinate characters. Somebody hired him to send him in there so they can edit the photos and the videos and the run-in on how they wanted to make it look. And so I gotta go, y'all. My thing ringing. I love y'all. I'll be back only if it's God's will. And we done with that. Be safe, be careful, and stay 10 toes down till you come up. And watch them snakes trying to come up in the back of you, trying to make it look like. You hear me? I'll be back. I'm gonna say this as well, too. Jealousy is where the devil lays dormant in many. You have to, when God is showing you something within somebody, right? I have to say this again. When God is showing you something within somebody, believe it. When you see that somebody is going above and beyond to prove what somebody is and what they ain't, you need to ask yourself, why is somebody going about their way? If a person ain't about nothing, a person ain't got to keep touching on it. You understand? It eventually their actions and their behavior will show who they is and who they ain't. For a person to go above and beyond to prove what a person is and ain't is beyond me, right? You'll be surprised at things that I've seen people do, right? We're trying to prove what somebody is and what they ain't, right? And what people have taken money for, right? To you have people out here that took hush hush, right, down low on the low, money and pocketed to help a person out, or to turn a naked and a blind eye to, or to contest, or to go with what they saying about somebody. Y'all, one time I was out about somewhere and I ended up running to one of my family members, and this family member said to me something about is everything going good in your life and this, that, and the other, right? And I said, yeah, what you talking about, right? We was talking for a minute. And I said, yeah, everything's good. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm working this many hours and da-da-da. That's all I do is work, mind my business. And even though this person can see that I was physically good, right? You can see that I'm good. You could tell when somebody's going through something. It shows in their appearance a lot of times, right? Some of these people will even go into, and then you got to be careful even with that. You got to take that with a grain of salt too, because you got people out here that will literally poison somebody to make them look a certain type of way. You understand? I have dealt with all these different type of scenarios on a grand scale. This is not something I'm just making up. You got people who will take and plant things on people to make it look like, right? A person could be a heavy sleeper, right? You remember when you was a kid and you would play, what was the name of that game that you played when people be sleeping and you do certain stuff while they sleeping, right? They still doing it now, but when we was kids, we used to do it a lot. Y'all was in there tearing my food up. Is that the cast of the camera on my food I was eating? Y'all don't know. But anyways, I remember one time my auntie had took some hot sauce and put it on my sister's lip, and she woke up screaming and crying, and she like, it was so hot, and da-da-da-da. She was sleeping, so, she got up really, really dramatic. And everything you did this to me, right? You got to be careful on what it is that's, and who names somebody keep bringing. Anyways, let me get back on this family member, what I said, what they did, right? And so me and that person had exchanged numbers and stuff because we haven't seen each other for a while. And, a lot of times you don't see people till you go to funerals and things of that nature. And so when I had my run-in, we talked and we laughed and everything, right? I didn't think nothing. And eventually this person called me, and I haven't talked to him in a while. This is an older person in my family, and it was a masculine, so I didn't think nothing of nothing, right? And so we talking, we having a good time, we laughing. And this person like, man, I ain't talking to you so long, man. I really regret not talking to you and not really reaching out and listening to other people. So I'm like, what you talking about? But you have to understand, this person don't understand the level that I'm at now, the amount of healing that I did, and the fact that they did listen to other people. But understand and believe you me, the people around me, this is why I tell you about the intuition and discernment. A lot of that come from you being around snakes in your life and having to decipher and slick your way through certain scenarios and situations, right? And so what I noticed within this person conversation, when I had looked back over, is that their words was purposely and placed directly to do certain things, to touch on certain things. They was trying to play a thing like they didn't know, but this was a person that was ahead of all things that was happening and taking place in my life and many other people's life. And it's because this person had did some stealing of inheritance and switching of and doing all these things, and they was causing things in my life to be harder than what they had to because of what they had stole. Believe that. And so at this time, I didn't know these things. And so I'm just talking to this person. And, this person began to call me regularly. What you doing? And I just love talking to you. And this person says to me, I done fought depression. Now they trying to get sentimental in the conversation, right? And so to make me become sentimental, feed it. If you feed it, then it'll grow. And then you'll become sentimental with me, right? You'll begin to open up with me. And so this person says, man, your word is so good, I deal with depression and all these things, and I had to fight many battles and da 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 da. And when I talk to you, you just make me laugh, man. It's just crazy. You make me laugh, and your voice just bring me out of that, right? Which I do believe was the truth. And the reason why this person was saying it was not for my benefit or to encourage me to keep going or to keep doing a thing, right? This person was doing that to make me open up to them, to begin to lay bare so they can use that for their own manipulative ways. And so, but I'm picking out in what this person doing, and I know how these people operate. These people operate like this and think nobody see them, like you're old school. You stuck back there. Man, Granny Ben taught us the riddles. You hear me? You hear me? Granny Ben taught us those riddles. You understand? These people don't understand it because they think they so slick. They sit in their ego all day. I'm the, right? Put my shirt up because I don't want my stuff all hanging out. And so, I'm in a one piece. You in that, you got on the one piece or whatever. The whole thing be trying to catch on to you. So I had to pull it up. Anyways, this person, as the conversation went on and days passed, this person began to call and check in, now they feeling comfortable. And God told me, watch out, son, that person got a hidden agenda, right? And so I'm talking to them, and this person said, man, have you talked to such and such, right? I knew it was coming. And so I said, no, I heard they was doing pretty good and things of that nature. This person said, oh, well, that's good that you speaking good and them and everything because they, And I said, no, what you talking about? Well, that's the person, I already like the Living Color, like the lady off of Living Color. I don't gossip and everything, but, don't tell them I told you this, but, I don't do all the gossiping and everything and stuff, right? That the lady off of Living Color, that's who this person was trying to be. And so he said, well, I really don't even, really state names because I don't really want to be in nothing, right? And so I said, what did this person say, right? What did this other person say? Well, she said this about you, and she said this, and she said that you was in the club snorting coke off the table. Man, all I could do was laugh. I said, no, she could have never told you nothing like that, right? But this person had said that because, literally said that to me, right? And I said, stop playing with me. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me about no snorting, no coke off, no. Y'all, I was hollering, laughing, right? It tickled me to death. So I said, she ain't told you no stuff like that, right? And I guess she did. I don't do that. I don't play. I ain't gonna just say that she said that and she didn't say that. I said, she did not say that to you. I said, well, I ain't heard from her, right? And, as far as me and her relationship, me and her always been cool. Anytime she ever want to call, talk to me, she always able to call me, reach out to me. A couple times she stopped by, but I ain't seen her in a minute. She doing her own thing. We grown now. She do her own thing. When we catch each other out and about, we catch each other, right? This person figured they was going to feed me that, and then it was going to make me shoot out my mouth everything that this person was doing out there. I knew a lot what this person was doing, but it wasn't none of their business. Oh, something popped up on my phone, y'all. I'm trying to read my little email up there. But this person was being manipulative and leading up to that, thinking that if this person told me that this person was talking bad about me, that then I would begin to talk bad about them. But see, they not understanding that I am in a hill point in my life, and I ain't playing like that, homie. I ain't playing. Okay, well, she said that, God bless her heart, But me knowing this person, I don't believe that person said that at all, right? At all, not even a little bit. And so this person was trying to kill two birds in one stone. But if I can say this and get away with saying this, then hopefully you can spill nasty things out your mouth about them because it's so drastic. Like, who says that about somebody? Who just say something irate like that? And the person they knew that they couldn't come well, that I knew that this person was lying as well because at that point in my life, I wasn't even going out nowhere, right? And I still really don't go out. I go out maybe once to twice, maybe once or twice a year, if that sometimes. I don't do nothing. I'm like a little granny. And so, when this person had told me that, I had already started my healing journey, right? And so I'm like, when did she tell you that? Well, I can't remember it, but it wasn't that long ago, because, and I said, But this person didn't know that me and this person talked not every single day, but we talk, we checked in on each other, and this person knew that I wasn't going out or nothing like that. So I knew that this person couldn't have told this person nothing like that. You understand? But not even that. That wasn't even this person language. And then the person who was saying it, this person didn't even like them. So I knew they wouldn't say nothing like that to them, right? But this person knew that they couldn't say nothing too small to me because it would have been too petty. Then it would have made them look really petty. So they reached. You understand? They reached. So I'm going to say something so crazy that it's gonna make hopefully it's gonna get you out your way to respond because we both know it's a lie and even that person knows it's a lie. But I need you to think and believe that she said this so I can go ahead and keep stealing from you what it is that I've been stealing from you. Then let's touch on something else. Where is she at? Right? It eventually got to, oh, have you seen her? Right? I kept talking to this person for a little bit after that, right? They would call me like, throughout the week and stuff like that. And I just kind of kept neutral. I didn't want them to see that they allowed me to shift, right? Because I wanted to see what this person was angling at. And so I said, oh man, I said, nah, why would she say something like that? Wow, that's crazy, right? And oh, she did. She did. She said it, and she said she seen you. And then I said she ain't told you nothing like that. I said she and something said stop saying that because you need him to believe that you believe that she said it, right? So we can get to what the meat and potatoes is. And so I said, oh man, I said I feel bad that she would say something like that about me. She know that nothing like that ever took place, and for somebody even what would make her even you, her, or anybody else say something like that when they never seen such thing from me, no such behavior from me, or never heard of such behavior coming from me, right? So that's a big stretch, right? That blew me. And so I said, oh, okay, well, hopefully she get herself together. Well, because I said if somebody were to say something like that, that would sound more like jealousy than anything because I wouldn't understand what would make somebody say something like that. That's envy, jealousy. That's beyond the lie. I know, right? I know. He said, when she said it, I was like, blew away. Like, no, not her. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm going to pray for her, hopefully. And so that person figured, well, since I sowed that seed, I feel like she believed it enough, right? Where she might ponder on it, but he didn't know that I didn't believe it at all, right? And not even a little bit. I cut that person short right then and there and never answered the phone for them because I'm the type of person that once you're cut off, you're cut off. Once I sing, it's just over, right? We're not going to play these games at all, y'all. And I got one eyelash on and one off because I got tired of it acting. And so anyways, this person called a couple more times. They talked about different things. They bring up different things and stuff like that, right? And this person said, oh, have you heard from such and such? I ain't heard from her and this, that, and the other. She feels some type of way towards me and this, that, and the other because of da-da-da-da-da. Now you contradicting yourself, but I'm letting them say what they saying, right? And I said, well, no, I ain't really heard from. Can you reach out to her? I talked to her mom on this day, but I think something is wrong with the phone. No, everybody blocked you because nobody liked you and you a problem and you say foul stuff out your mouth. And you a liar. And you cunning and you're manipulative. And instead of you just calling being you always got something up your sleeve because you always hiding something, right? I could never understand why this person was paranoid, why this person always had cameras surrounding their house, why this person was always in this, right, this element. And at first, I just thought it was them, right? I'm like, oh, that's just him, right? That's just them. That's all of them, right? But as you start getting older and God start revealing things to you, you start seeing why that person is like that. They're sneaky, they're underhanded, they're tactful, they're conniving. And some of these people will go as far as taking your life, sneaking in your house and poisoning your waters, right? Your water bottles that you leave on your nightstand, right? To take you up out of here for the things that they have stolen from some of us, right? It's not just me. It's not just you. It's a lot of people out here that is fighting stuff. And you wonder why when you're going through something so bad that the person sitting next to you is quick to pull out a camera and watch you dozing off. Right? A person heard and pull out a camera. Not when you doing good, right? But when you like that. And I remember I seen a video of this guy like that. And I was about to get up under there and say something. And I didn't even have to do it because so many people had already said it. What type of friend is you, cousin, auntie, uncle, whoever you is, right? Mama, daddy. Why would you record that person like that? A person that is your rider, your friend, your whoever. Why would you get on here and record that person in that type of state? Unless people record stuff like that because they have an underhanded tactic. They are underhanded. They have a hidden agenda and a motive, right? Who would even think to do something like that unless they have a hidden agenda and a hidden motive, right? Some of these people have went as far as creating fake AI of you, saying certain things and creating videos of you and putting AI over it and making it look like it's you and hoping nobody take a closer look. You understand me? You understand me? But anyways, this person... I reached out to this person. I said, hey, such and such is trying to get in touch with you, right? Because I don't play them type of games. Oh, could you contact them for me? Because I'm trying to get in contact with them and give them a couple dollars. They call the thing that I noticed as well. I've always been a person that mind my business. I never get in people drama. I don't get in the middle of stuff. I noticed that somebody around me at all times was always trying to keep me in something, even when I wasn't in it, right? I don't play those type of games. And so, this person was like, well, this person just called me. That's crazy. That means you've been talking and they called me. And when I just tried to call them back, they didn't reach back out. I told them I was going to send them some money. And so I don't know if something wrong with their phone. I'm concerned. Somebody said something, they had went to jail or maybe they in a mental health institution. Can you see if they all right for me? And da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and the other, right? This person wanted me to call on three-way. And so I said, no, I'm not going to be calling on no three-way. I said, but I'll call and check on them, right? And so I called this person. I said, hey, how you doing? And she was like, I'm doing all right. I said, well, such and such called me. And they said this and that and the other, right? And they playing these games, right? We all already know, right? And she was like, oh my God. She said, girl, I ain't talked to that person. Please don't call that person for me, right? But this person, no, I don't do the three ways. I don't do the sneaky stuff, right? I'm going to call and ask for your permission. I said, so what do you want me to tell this person? Because this is where we at. This is the games. And I said, I'm also going to talk to you about something else, right? And she was like, oh my God, here we go, right? And she was like, this is why I don't talk to him. This is why I don't do none of that. She said, you move. She said, you know, if nobody else, that I do not talk to him. I don't want him calling me. She said, Moo, please don't put that mother F on this phone, right? She said, she just can't stand him, right? This person took them to too much. And so I said, okay, it's respected, right? You good and everything, right? And she was like, yes, I'm good. I would call that person on my own, right? And I said, okay, cool. I just let them know. I said, they called me and this was going on, right? And she was like, okay, thank you so much. I love you. Call me once you get out of that, right? And so this is bad, y'all. And so I went on here and called him. I said, she fine and everything. You talk to her? You talk? I said, yeah, I talked to her. She all right. You know, she'll call you when she get ready, right? When she ready, right? And I said she was busy and everything, so I'm going to holler at her at another day. Oh, well, you know, this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da-da. Right after that, I just never talked to that person again because I just said, I don't got time for that. I seen him after that at a funeral again. That's crazy, ain't it? And I just said, I'm going to leave that person there. You know, we love the people around us, but you have to understand that a lot of these people have been involved in doing some nefarious, crazy, foul things to some of us, and a lot of times y'all don't understand why people are trying to keep you connected to some type of mess around you, right? It's because it's a bigger agenda, right? And who would have knew? Who would have knew, right? All of this, and I kept saying, God, why is it that all these people keep trying to connect me into some type of mess? Y'all, oh my God, y'all, I don't even want to start with this stuff, so I'm not, right now, not today. But when you see that you are a person that go to work, you go home, you take care of your household, you mind your business, and you barely even leave out your house, and you see that people who you don't even talk to are constantly trying to connect you into mess, it's always a bigger. So anyways, y'all, just know that there's always somebody doing something for a reason, right? I could not understand for all the love of me. Even when I started getting relationships, what these people started to do was they was infiltrating my relationships and paying the people that I was with as well to keep this mess going. And so anyways, y'all, I'm getting off of that. I'm gonna end with this, right? You got a problem with somebody say something about somebody, you need to approach that person yourself, right? I'm not letting nobody tell me nothing about somebody. If it's something somebody said, I got a good enough discernment to just leave it where it's at. Or if I feel like it got some possible way of escalating because of who the person I was communicating with, I'm gonna call that person right away. Hey, once I got the phone with that person, I said, hey, yes, I've been talking to this person. You know, the last time we seen them at the such and such and such. Yep, I know. Yeah, that person contacted me a couple times and this and the other. Conversation was going good. Girl, by the fourth date, it was another person, right? She was like, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't talk to them, right? It's everybody already know these gangs and who is doing what, right? And so we keep our distance, especially the younger generation. We just keep our distance from the older ones because they're messy as hell. And a lot of them have stolen things and kept things going within that family for so long. Mess. Oh, she getting left this from my mommy and my daddy, my granny, my uncle, my cousin, and I ain't getting left nothing. I'm gonna take it from her. All this type of stuff going on, right? And so y'all got to thread on thin waters. And these people had been doing so much, y'all, that they didn't even know that I knew what they was doing. I was looking dead at them the whole time they was doing it. Just watching them literally move and make moves in there, and I'm watching them in their face. I'm watching them do it. This is how desperate some of these people have became, and what it is that they was doing and trying to make these storylines stick, right? And what it is, yo, look, I don't even know what to get at. But anyways, y'all. So after all that ended, and I talked to her and stuff like that, I said, girl, I said, I don't believe it, but I'm gonna give you a chance to let me know what's going on. And I told her what that person said. Oh, after she did the same thing I did, bust out laughing. She said, Moo, you know I don't talk like that. She said, I got my own things I'm dealing with. She said, when I ever discussed that, she said, for one, I ain't seen that person in years. She said, if that person ever, she said, it ain't gonna never be me just bringing nobody up to that person. Nobody, because they messy, and I know how to get down. She said, but not only that, she said, if your name was ever brought up, which I can't never even remember, she said, you know dang on well when no conversation being had like that. She said it would have been, oh, she doing fine, or that person doing fine, he doing fine, right? And she said, and they taking care of their household, minding their business. I ain't seen them in a while. Last time I talked to them, they was doing this, that, and the other, you know, but they doing good, right? She said, and that's the only thing, let's be real, that you can really say to that person. Let's be honest. She said, if I don't want to talk to them now, what makes you think that even if I had to really bow down and needed something, that I was even going to even say something like that to them? I don't even want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to none of them for that matter, right? She said, let's be honest. She said, when it comes to us girls, right, our generation, she said, we was all raised together, like really tight. We all basically like sisters, right? She said, even if we ain't, we all still like that because how we was raised. She said, and with that being said, even if we don't talk, she said, we ain't got to talk for 2 or 3 years. She said, each and every last one of them know how they all are, right? I do believe in my heart that she knew, maybe not everything, but she knew a lot. She knew that that person was trying to use her to do certain things, and she kept running away because she didn't want to be a part of it, right? Just like that person tried to use anything and everybody else in their life. And so, I also believe that she knew that this person was in involvement of some nefarious things towards me, and she didn't want to be a part of it at all, right? You got some people out there that's forced in situations, right, due to their circumstances, right? And another thing as well, this person was also using somebody, I do believe, to go out there to do certain things. And see, these are the things that are coming out, right? To make it look like you going to the bank, cashing the check, make it look like using this person to put on a wig and a this and that and the other to make it look like this is what I'm talking about the AI stuff. Because for one, they had got away with doing certain things for so long, they would have to open up things and something was left to you, things would have to be opened up in your name. And they can't just walk in the bank talking about they you, right? So they have to go a lot of times get somebody that look like you. And so a lot of things are then you got some of these people who ain't just telling you about it. They stealing your mail, paying the mail person, right? Y'all had to go down to the post office, ask about my mail. Y'all, from what I seen, even like the post office people was in on me. This is how crazy. When I walked in there, it's like the lady already knew who I was. And it was crazy because it was an outsider guy who walked in there when I was coming out. And I was standing there and I was recording a video. And this person had came out and he said, what's your name? And I told him, he said, they was in there talking about you. Like he said, you know them people, the ladies in there, this, that, the other, because he heard me outside record my video and hear what I was saying, and it made him stop. You could see he wanted to keep going, like, I ain't gonna get in that, right? But he went on here and said what he said. He said, you need to go call the state of such and such and had them looked into. He said, because if you're not receiving your mail, I said, yeah, but as soon as I walked in there and told her my name, she started making excuses instead of her. I said, she didn't even ask me for ID right away. She just said, what's your name again? And I said what I said, but I said, it's like somebody took a picture in there and told him if she come in here complaining about her mail, tell her this, that, and the other, right? But when I walked up there, and I said, hey, my mail's not coming. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, right? And she started, oh, well, do you got a dog or something? He got to saying, oh, well, can your stairs be walked up? And do you got a dog? And, oh, do you stay in the duplex? But she told on herself when she said it, because how did you know I stayed in the duplex? How did you know that I stayed in the duplex? She said one too many things to justify why the mail was possibly not coming, right? Then let's not take away the fact that that is another person in here as well, and I do believe that they have not everything to do with, but it's like hide in the back of, right? Things that was already taking place as well. And so, like I said, I'm gonna say again, when you guys are trying to contact people for certain things, right? You got people out here maneuvering behind people trying to make sure they don't get stuff, right? Make sure they don't get the inheritance. Make sure they don't get that opportunity. Make sure they don't do this, hack into their phones. Do this, stop this, stop that, right? You people are not understanding that these people are doing this for something else because it's a prophecy that has to be fulfilled. You understand? And once this person hit a certain level and come in contact with certain people, places, and things, it breaks off everything else that people have been doing in the background. So don't sit there and listen to your coworker friend, right? Somebody else who already got their ends, lying on somebody, talking about somebody, and trying to stop stuff as well, right? That person is being ran by the principalities as well. While they trying to make this person look like and yell louder than them, and at the top of this and at the bottom of that. You understand? Y'all, once again, I gotta go ahead and go because I'm supposed to be off of here, y'all. But every time I get off, I think about something. And I'm going to shooting the bobo with God, right? And I ain't been on here in a while. I wasn't feeling too well, and had other stuff going on, right? Not as far as like a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of that. Just, just keeping my mind sane and being in communication with God and making sure me and God have our relationship, me and his relationship before anything, right? None of this stuff matters if you ain't got God first, right? I can't put the messages how I need to put the messages if me and God ain't in communication first. And so, and some people that get on there and get to shooting and yelling and hollering and hooting and hollering and go grab stuff and say this and say that. The messages come from within, personal experience, and what God gave me to put with that. You understand? And so, y'all have a blessed day. And a lot of times when I go to speak, what I've learned over the years, when I ran into this guy at my workplace and he told me that when I was speaking, that a lot of things took place and he was able to go act on certain things. And he was like, it's certain things that you didn't even know about and you spoke on. He said, I want to go act on it and this happened and that happened, right? He said, you got a lot of prophecy and you say a lot of things that come to pass, right? He said, it's just crazy, it's wild. And so I know that a lot of times when I'm speaking on stuff, it's always going to help somebody somewhere, some part of your conversation and what I'm speaking on, right? A lot of things taking a place behind the scene. Hopefully you got something out of this, right? Keep your faith in God, keep forging forward, and can't nobody take what God got for you. Some of y'all people who are in places, y'all need to get on up and figure out what's going on. If you feel like that person is really worth it, you have to get up and put the work in as well, right? Everything and about finances and this, that, and the other. Sometimes you got to get on up off that thing and do your thing because you don't know what God is trying to do with you in that situation to take you somewhere completely further, make you touch things and make that person touch things to break off things. You understand? So y'all have a blessed day. I love y'all, and I'll be back only if it's God's will. All right, bye bye. To say this as well. I gotta say this. Y'all, I told you every time I get off, I gotta come back on. When I said that person, every time I went to a family function, right? Because I'm going back over through my stuff and edit it. And I said that every time I go to a family function, somebody got my phone in their hand, right? I also forgot to say as well, y'all, I forgot. I went back into the front room. They got my I got my little book bag right here, right? Let me turn this around so y'all can see. I got my little book bag right here, right? When I go in there, y'all, my bag, this part was unzipped in my bag on my thing, right? All this stuff, I got stuff on in front of here, but all this stuff was zipped up, right? When I went back in there, my purse busted wide open at the top. This all unzipped, the pockets unzipped. Now, everybody at this family function, there's not a person that was sitting around up in that front area that didn't see what was going on. Everybody that was sitting in that front portion of there, seeing what they was doing. And so, I do believe that my granddad left here and left me some things, and these people bitter about it. So these people thought that they was going to go into my purse and be sneaking pictures of stuff and stealing things out of my purse, right? So bitter, so foul, so nasty, so vulgar. And then they calling on God for a man. They calling on God for what is, right? All these people think that they going to steal off the back of you, walk in your grace and your glory. And some of these people are in so much karmic debt that they rather playing something to steal and siphon something off of you because your grace and your gumption, your glory with God is so grand, right? Your karma is so good that whatever little bad karma that you might have had, whatever thing that you might have had to clear up before you went into the promised land, these people rather sit in that, right? It's always going to be somebody that's trying to come around you to take something that they think is for you. But these people don't even know. Just know that when God allows something to go through, just know that it's supposed to be that way. These people trying to sneak up on you even in the spirit, right? To take something from you, not understanding that they're taking your problem from you, right? These people don't even know that the thing that you were around at the time is karmic debt. But that person dealing with somebody that look like that. Oh, they working at a place like this. They doing this, they doing that. Oh, I want to do that, right? They didn't know that you owed the place and space some form of karmic debt while you landed there. You own somebody in that place, in that space, something, right? Whether I don't even care if it was a word. You understand me? And these people so thirsty for what it is that they think is yours, right? Every time you land somebody, these people think is it, right? Every time you land somewhere, oh, this must really be it this time because we stopped the last thing and we really thought that was it. So this time it must really be it, right? And they run down and get slapped down. You understand? These people are calling on things and God is allowing them to pull it on from you so they can have your karmic debt so you can go on to the next place. See, this is how this type of stuff work out. And see, I had to get back on here and say that really quick. Yeah, they was in my purse, rambling through my purse and everything, y'all. I had forgot all about it. I went to go there earlier, but I went on ahead and went left in what I was speaking on. But y'all, I'm getting on off of here now. I'm done. I'm just going through my stuff and touching up on some of my stuff and taking out some things, because I was doing other stuff, stopping doing this in my phone. I hate when I be doing stuff like that. But anyways, y'all be busy. I be in my own little world over here. And so, I just want to place that in there as well. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Going through my purse, child. And what I'm saying, I think it was only maybe one person up there that didn't know what was going on. Because if you reach for a bag and you going through somebody else's stuff, I mean, you got to at least think that is that person's stuff. So it was that person and another person sitting next to that person, right? That I know for a fact them two knew what was going on as well as the other person at the end of that couch. They all thought they was doing this stuff. These people are so bitter. These people felt so entitled to what it was that you had. And these people are coming up with so many plots and schemes and dings and dings and dings and dings, right? To stop you from getting what it is that God got for you. These people ain't gonna stop nothing. Not even the people in the places and spaces that you going to. You understand that? It's people in the places and spaces and between the places and the places of the spaces that's already even in the places and spaces that you're going to. And God is going to use some of us to clear that up, right? To clear out that karmics, right? Some of our lights shine so bright that it make them scream. What they say, a hit dog will holler. You understand? And so y'all have a blessed one. And I'll be back on you if it's God's will. This is my fourth time saying it. Now, this time I'm done. Okay? Okay.